Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Shop Talk with Kent Robinson and Kent Robinson Racing.
Come on in.
Appreciate you letting us come up and visit your shop and check out what all you got going on here. The first question I always ask people is, how did you get started in racing?
Well, I guess my first race, not race car, just started on ATVs, four-wheelers. I was around 10 years old. Did that. I was always around, liked riding them. Decided to ask Dad if he'd let me go racing. We did that for a few years. Did that competitively, I guess. Won a bunch of races doing that. Got hurt, got real banged up there at the end of that. Decided to get off those and got into a bomber when I was 13. So that would have been, no, I was 15, so 2003. Got a 86 Monte Carlo from the salvage yard. Dad brought it home and knocked the windows out of it and started racing at Pear again. Putnamville a little bit, you know, Brownstown some. That was 03, then 04, we went up to street stock. Did that a couple of years. Enjoyed that somewhat, ran Bloomington a lot, and then in 2006 I got a modified. Immediately started liking that a lot better, kind of took to it better. Started learning how to win some races, you know. Won the track championship and rookie of the year at Bloomington that year. Ran those for 4 years. Then in 2010 we had a modified and decided to get late model also, and then done late model ever since.
Gotcha. How long did you run the bomber for? And what were some of your biggest accomplishments in the bomber?
Well, I ran it 1 year. I with Pear again, and just learned a lot. I guess my accomplishment, I did win a race that year. Accomplished by pissing a lot of people off up there, you know what I mean?
Right,
I don't think it was because of the driving or anything like that. I mean, it is a rough class, and back then it was quite a bit worse, but you know, a lot of guys didn't like a young kid coming in there and running well, and they knew who my dad was and whatnot and stuff. So, you know, I guess I accomplished learning would be the biggest thing from that, and learning how to race and run with respect and stuff, but I'll always remember that year.
Right. So then going in from the bombers to the super stocks, how big of a jump was that for you?
You know, to me it wasn't all that big. I mean, one of the biggest jumps there, I guess, would be going to Bloomington Speedway.
Gotcha.
You know, I always grew up watching that place and admiration for all those drivers that we watched in sprint cars mainly back then, and just being able to. I remember the first time pulling on the racetrack there and just looking up and thinking, you know, this is it, and I made it here, and this is awesome. Yeah, and so I did like that class. It just didn't really, they were all leaf springs back then, and just you couldn't do a lot to them. They were big and long, old, just heavy cars, and you know, we had fun, but it didn't fit me as well, I guess. And like we said, when we went into the modified, I really kind of took to it a lot better and enjoyed it more.
So I know you raced your modified for a while, and you had a lot of success in your modified. What was some of your biggest accomplishments in your modified?
Well, in 2006, my first year, it was right out of the gate. We had a good car. We started winning a couple races. My third race at Bloomington, I won, and then continued to run top 5, top 10s there. And that's back when we had a lot of modified competition. Ray Humphrey and Shelby was running full time, and the DeMoss brothers, and a lot of really good cars. And I was able to win the championship that year. I would say overall that was my biggest accomplishment that year.
Got you. And then going into, talk a little bit about late model, because I know that's where you're at now. What's your favorite track you've ever raced your late model at? I
mean, I love Eldora. I think we all know that. I mean, I really enjoy racing there for a lot of reasons, but I would probably say I've only got to run there once at Spoon River Speedway.
Spoon River.
I've also won there, you know, but it was such a unique racetrack for Illinois. You know, a lot of lower bank, smaller bull rings over there, and that place is more high banked and longer straightaways, and kind of fits my style a bit more. But I think that would probably be my favorite track I've ever been to.
Where do you want to go that you've not been yet to?
Probably Port Royal, PA. I want to make it out there. I know it's another big racetrack and on the verge of being too big for late models right now for the aero package and stuff that we have, but I would say that's where I'd like to make it to.
I got you. 2023 plans. What's your plans? Obviously, we can see the car in the background. We'll talk about that a little bit when we take our shop tour. But what's your 2023 plans as far as this year goes?
You know, it's about the same as 22. I try to like to do 15 to 20 races is the goal. It kind of fits what my life's doing right now with all the other endeavors and kids and commitments I have. It fits. So, you know, if we can run 20 to 25, you know, half of those are crown jewels, you know, between the 7 or 8 at Eldora and you know, the ones we go to that I like to, the big shows I like to hit. You know, if we can do that and just have a little bit of fun along the way, we'll call it a success.
Gotcha. I do want to talk to you a little bit about, because a lot of people know about the family business. How did all that get started, and talk a little bit about the history of the family business?
Well, my dad, namesake, he was JB, Johnny Bob, and you know, he started JB Salvage, the scrapyard, in 1984.
Gotcha.
Here in Bloomington, and just had 2 employees, and was scraping for everything he had. You know what I mean? I was born. We were in a single wide trailer, and heard a lot of stories. Obviously, I don't remember, but of trying to make ends meet, and you know, it was a full-on struggle, and came from that just hard work and dedication and laser focus on getting things done, you know, and turned it into a successful business and to continue to grow when it could, and you know, it continues to be that way. You know, I took over somewhat those responsibilities. He passed away in 2013, and just still on the same property, a lot of the same crew, and you know, and doing things old school way,
Still
but it gets,
grinding,
yeah, still getting it done.
I always make sure, because sponsors are a huge part of race programs, all across all genres, whatever. What's some of the sponsors that you have this year that you'd like to thank, or just go through all your sponsors?
Sure, yeah. I mean, well, JB Salvage is my biggest sponsor. I mean, it's a family-owned operation, but they help us tremendously. We got Lucid Services Group. They're an IT recruiting firm out of Indianapolis. That's my sister and brother-in-law. They run that, and you know, VP Racing Fuels. They've helped me since day one. You know, the best fuel in motorsports. We got Willie's Carburetor and Dyno Shop. J. Dickens Racing Engines, best of the best there too. What else we got? We got not a whole lot on this car anymore, you know, don't race all that much, but RW Transport, Swift Springs, and just a whole lot of product sponsors, man. All Star Performance helps us tremendously, and Hoosier Racing Tires. But it does. It takes a lot to keep this going, and sponsors are definitely key.
Gotcha. So we're going to do a fast 5.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot. So I'll ask you 5 questions, and then just one word answer. If you want to explain your answer, that's fine too. Okay. Favorite restaurant?
I got to go local. There's a place here in town called Uptown Cafe.
Uptown Cafe. Slick track or heavy track?
Slick.
Favorite beer?
It's a long list. I don't have. They're gonna get shit. Natural Light. It's Natty Light.
Natty Light.
My ass all the
Light.
time about it.
Okay, I've not heard Natty Light yet.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one. And if you want to come on board Natty Light, you got a car you can sponsor right here. Favorite track you've never raced at?
Well, I want to do. I said Port Royal, I guess, but there is. I was thinking about it. What was that other one popped in my mind? Let's go. Dibbles, Gad, Tazewell, somewhere down in East Tennessee. Smoky Mountain. The new Smoky Mountain. I ran the whole thing. Yep. I want to run the new Smoky Mountain.
Okay.
Yep.
That's why I asked that, because I thought there might be another one besides one. Biggest race that you've never won that you want to win, and you only get to pick one. Which one would be?
World 100.
World 100. Okay. I got one more. Man, I always get questions in my mind and I can't even spit them out. If you had to pick one race car to ever race the rest of your life, what class would it be?
Dirt?
It could be anything.
Oh man.
If you had to pick one thing to race the rest of your life, what would it be?
So, you know, I really want to get in one of those. I don't know if it'd be the rest of my life, but that's the question. It would be one of those off-road trucks, a Pro 4 off-road trucks. Yeah, because they just look like they just go just like hell and run into each other.
Right.
And I think I'd like to do that.
There you go. All right, so now we're going to take a walk around Kent's shop, tour the shop. There's a lot of history on the walls, and we're going to discuss more of his racing career and what's to come. So stick with us. All right, so now we're going to do the shop tour portion of the video. So first, we're going to start in the engine room.
Yep.
Or fat room.
Yeah, we call it the.
What do you got going on in here?
Call it the motor room.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So this is where you do like your winter maintenance and all that good stuff?
Yeah, we got a couple machines in here. Usually it's not as big of a disaster as it is right now, but this is all the stuff we stripped down off this car. That'll go back, majority of it will go back on. But yeah, we just kind of use this portion of the shop for storage in the off season, and then during the season we'll use a mill, lathe, and a couple engines and parts washing and all the stuff that kind of goes along with it. We've never been into big time fabrication, you know, just we'll do our own body work and a little chassis repair, you know, welding here and there, but we don't, in this day and age, you don't really make a whole lot of your own parts.
Right,
so,
just do what you can.
Yeah, so it's just
stuff.
kind of a multi-purpose storage room at this moment.
So when the car gets back to Longhorn, then this room will probably get pretty busy then, won't it?
Yeah, we'll be in here a lot, kind of making sure the test fit a lot of stuff, and everywhere you look, there's always kid toys running over everywhere. So that's
gotta have that.
Don't trip on any of them.
That's probably a pretty busy piece of equipment there.
There's a lot of them down here, man. It's just, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go out here and we'll talk about some of these checks and what you got going on. And I know there's quite a few. I guess let's just start right here. Let's just start off with the Baltus Classic.
Mm-hmm. That was 2016. Yep.
How many races have you won at Eldora? You were track champion at Eldora, correct?
Yeah, between the modified and the late model, maybe close to 10.
10.
So 8 or 10. My favorite racetrack. So it's well, when you win, it makes everything better.
Right. So, pull up on that stage, it doesn't matter what.
It's amazing.
It's still special.
Yep.
Dirt Car Summer Nationals, 10,000 at Oakshade.
Yep, that was my first 10,000. That's one of my biggest memories, man. To be honest, in racing. First time I'd ever been to Oakshade. I tried to get up there quite a bit. It just never really worked out.
Right.
They have such amazing fans up in that area that invited me for years and years in the modified, and just never made it happen. So we got on the schedule, and it's one that I circle. And you know, whenever you have a goal to go out and run well, and then you accomplish it, it's a sense of accomplishment. I love it. So that was one of my fondest memories in a late model.
Gotcha. Definitely a good win for sure.
Yep.
I see you got the big Josh Burton banner up there.
Yeah. He was one of my close buddies, and unfortunately, I was there at Bloomington when that all happened.
Yeah. Josh is definitely the staple of Bloomington Speedway.
Yeah, we grew up racing four-wheelers together too. He's a couple years younger than me, and we ran four-wheelers together when I did that, and our families got to be close, so it was pretty traumatic for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. What's some of the trophies we got up here?
Yeah.
Modifieds, and you got, I was like going through the modified national ninth place.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
The big race. Yeah, so back, when I ran UMP points, it was they'd give you a trophy for every position at the nationals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of accumulated some of those, but I did one the next year, the Burton Memorial in 2014. That's what I was running a modified. I won that, so that was cool. Back to the Burton thing, but a lot of Eldora trophies, and they all have a little story behind them. But
I'm glad that the tracks are keeping those legacies alive with, the Burton and then the Roddy Strong stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's cool that they're keeping those alive. So.
Yeah, we love doing that.
Especially the Roddy paying $9,999 to win this year. That's pretty.
Yeah, we had a hand in that. Me and 3 or 4 of us. Bradley Sterk kind of kind of headed up all the promotion. But we've all got there's 4 of us in that, and we're really looking forward to that.
You running the mod in that this year?
I'm looking for a ride right now. I'm hoping I got a couple guys on the string. I just haven't had anything come through yet. I'm gonna be there no matter what. I took the weekend off for my stuff. It's just a matter of if I'm gonna be on the hill, drinking beer.
On the hill drinking beer and see racing too.
Right.
Yeah. So right here you got this is work table and
sheet metal bench here. Yeah, kind of got a
chainsaw repair.
This is what a race shop. I see some of these, man, these top end teams that I look around. I'm like, where's all your junk?
Right, exactly.
And I try to keep things organized, but they're just. I got drunk. I work on other stuff.
Right.
Here, we got quite a bit of property here, so yeah, this is a sheet metal table, sheet metal brake. This is a whole what we call sheet metal area here. So this is where we have all the bodies up.
We got a lawnmower we got to get ready. We got chainsaws to get ready.
Yeah, priorities.
Stop shop,
That's
right?
Priorities.
Pretty cool. So we'll go. So we got another Summer Nationals win up here, 5,000.
Yep, that was the next year I went back. We won the prelim night, and then started on the pole of the main show, the 10,000 to win, and got past someone for the lead, and it was rubbered up, and all I had to do was pretty much stay in the lane. And just couldn't. The next lap after taking the lead, I just messed up and got past Zach Doan, past me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was a letdown. I ran second, cried all the way home.
Did you?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you got a modified special win at Kentucky Lake.
Yeah, that was 2007. That was back when 5,000 went for modified was, like I said, it's still pretty big, but that was badass there. That was we went down there, had no idea what was going to happen. I hadn't never raced there before, and went down and just, I guess sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Gotcha.
Just showed up, didn't know what to do, and just the car was good all night, and got the win.
Can't beat that.
No, that was so much fun.
We got some more trophies, more work area. What we got going on here?
This is outside fab area. We try to keep that room in there a little cleaner. So this is all the stuff that creates, I don't know, a lot of mass, a lot of grinding and stuff. So we try to keep all that over here. More sheet metal stuff, sheet metal shear.
And we'll check out this picture up here. This is back 06 down here.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
So that is actually hand painted.
Really?
Yeah, that's that was a gift when I graduated. So that was the first win in Bloomington. That was our third race. Like I told you, at Bloomington I won, and Jeff Bland Jr. You remember he used to race sprint car and modified back then. His dad, Jeff Bland Sr. That was a senior in high school there. So when I graduated my senior gift, he brought that in. We were having a get together down there, and I was like, "What is that?" Awesome. And he got it out, and yeah, that's all hand painted. So that's a pretty cool thing, man.
What's the doors above that?
So the one right above that is my first street stock. That would have been in 2005, and then there's 4. I'm sorry, and then the top door is off my bomber. That is my very first race car. Yeah, that just painted off. That's all paint. You know, we
back then
went to Lowe's and
got
a roller and rolled it on there, and it's,
really,
that's why it's kind of came off like that.
Still, I mean, it looks good though.
Yeah, good shape.
Oh yeah. Then of course you got the car. Let's discuss the car a little bit. So going to Longhorn on Monday, you said, right?
Yeah. Going back down there, it's totally stripped down. I mean, usually in the off season, we wouldn't go this far. Probably about half this far. All the body be off, and we'd refresh that.
Right.
But I decided we took a couple hard hits. When Chase drove it the first night there, that was a pretty hard hit, and it did a little bit of damage to the front end, and then went to Charlotte a couple weeks after that, and then I crashed it, and looking back, it was never the same after that. They'll take a couple shocks like that, and it bent a couple bars, but I decided to ride it out, and maybe looking back, I wish I would have just took the time to take it back down there and get it and put it back on the jig and just double check everything. But we waited till the off season, and I think some of our results showed that. But no, truth be told, it's just gonna go down now. Got to be down there on Monday. Put in the jig and see what's up, see if it needs a front clip possibly, and get that done. They'll knock it out in a couple days and we'll come back.
A lot of fans don't get to see cars at this stage, is what I think is pretty neat about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of work that goes in over the winter to get ready for that next spring. And all the time we don't see that portion.
No. Yeah, it is. It's looks like a skeleton tore down like this, and
Right.
you know, and a lot of people don't get to see it. So it's pretty neat.
Just from your, I want to kind of ask this question too for the viewers. When you guys take a car like this back to Longhorn and you get it back, and you guys work on it, say, pretty hard, how long does it take you guys to put a car like this back together?
Well, I mean, it'll be quicker since everything's already been in there, and if mocked up, if you will, you know, so the rear end, everything will go back in pretty quick. You know, if we hit it hard, which, you know, I only get 5-6 hours a week down here in the shop. I don't have anybody full time, so it'll take us a couple weeks.
Gotcha.
You know, I mean, if two guys wanted to hit it wide open and had all the body panels made, I mean, you get a couple days.
Couple days.
Yeah, absolutely.
We always wonder, like, when you guys, something catastrophic happens during the season, and then you're racing again in a week or so. Just curious on what it takes to get one back together.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. You know, the majority of the work is up under here in the cockpit, you know, so what we'd call under the dash panel, where all the wiring is and all the gauges. Mounting the seat takes damn near a day.
Gotcha.
So that is a majority of the work goes in there. So that's done. So that saves you quite a bit of time. Well, most of the stuff that came off that we just saw laying in there is all just bolt-on
parts.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so that really speeds the process up.
All right, so then behind us we got all your lubricants, oils.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of shit back there. I don't even know. Yep, just junk mainly. You know, it's gotta have it. But you kind of organize some of this stuff over here. This is a lot of the parts that came off the car. You know, the oil systems are very complex. You know, a lot of lines. It's got 15 or 20 different lines on it. So most of that's labeled, ready to go back on. Try to organize that as much as we can, and it's a good opportunity when it's off to visually inspect it,
Right.
see make sure there's no problems with.
So
with
when
it.
you see guys pull into the hot pit, there's a lot of stuff to diagnose. It's not like it's just everything's tagged and you just figure it out.
No,
There's a lot of stuff to figure out.
Absolutely, a lot of moving parts on these.
What about these door panels here? Because these are a little bit different, right?
These are both. I think that bottom one, that's off a modified. I ran a couple years, I don't know, and then both those are back. The smaller panels are back when we had to run we didn't have a spoiler, so we had to run the panel on the back below the T-bar. Yeah, and then both the blue panels are off my one of my street stocks.
Got you.
Yeah, ran at Brownstown a lot, Fly By You. That's when Matt Boatnick built that car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the side up there? What car's that off of?
That one is 2019. That was my favorite. That was I did a throwback. Actually, that's a throwback to the other blue panel, and that's I ran that. Did that at Eldora for the World.
Yeah.
And that's when Don O'Neill drove me straight in the wall and junked my race car. So that was a great time.
I remember that.
Yeah, great memories.
Then you got the Roddy Strong.
Yep.
Rooftop.
That's my favorite. Yep. That was in an auction that I wasn't going to lose that one, so I wanted it on my
I wanted it pretty bad.
We outbid them.
I do want to, since your trailer's inside, I do want to check this out because you got a pretty cool trailer.
Yep.
So I did do some filming last year for Kent at the one of the races at Brownstown. But I'm running around outside. I had no idea that the front part was air conditioned. Well, I didn't know where everybody went, so I'm just standing outside, and then Kyle come out and he's like, "Well, you can go in there if you want." He goes, "It's air conditioned." And I'm like, "Well, that's where I'm going." So
absolutely.
we'll check your trailer out since it's on the inside.
Yeah, we're really proud of this. It's something that you know, I had the lift gate, the SNSs through the years, and it got to be where I just decided I was only going to have one car for forever, foreseeable future, and the hassle of a lift gate doesn't really, the negative of that doesn't outweigh the positive of it. So we just decided to downgrade to this, I guess you call that, where it's just one car, so much easier to get it in and out, less moving parts, and it's super nice. I'm very proud of it. Got to design it all myself and lay it all out how I wanted. So it's more user friendly. It's just easier getting in and out of, and you know, the girls in the family don't have as much room to play around, I guess,
Right.
you know, but yeah, there's so these front doors closed and slide closed, and then this whole front area is air conditioned.
It's a very nice trailer. Definitely makes your racing operation a lot easier.
Yeah, it is necessary. You know, they say trailers don't win races, which is true to some extent, but you know, it doesn't hurt, and you know, we're in it to have fun at the end of the day, and
Right.
and we can try to have some creature comforts where the family's happy and the crew, and then you know, it might make everybody a little more happy and,
Right.
and want to run another week.
I think sometimes comfort is success too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
Oh, it is.
are, you know, not scrambling and trying to find parts and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and there, you know where everything's at, and
Sure.
yeah. All right, so we'll go check the rest of the shop.
All right.
I just want to check this trailer out.
Yep.
Because I know it's a nice trailer. What's that tractor called, or panel?
That was when Steve Kinser drove my car.
I got you.
At the Prelude. Yeah, so that was 2012, last year that they had the Prelude Dream at Eldora. Steve and my family have been close for a long time, and Dad and him grew up around the same people, and Dad helped on his crew on and
Right.
off, and mainly drank beer and had good times
Oh, yeah.
together. And when we heard it was going to be the last year, I'd been trying to get Steve to do it. He'd never commit. He was just, he got so comfortable in what he was doing,
Right.
and you know, he had nothing to prove. So
Right.
Tony had a little bit to do with that, because that's back when he was running with Tony and
Right.
for Tony, and
Right.
and he's like, you need to do it, and he's like, well, the only way I'll do it is if I drive, you know, for Robinson. So he came over, and we got him fitted. We went and tested one time. Before then, it was a great memory. It was just hilarious. I mean,
Right.
really, I mean, he
I
was
bet.
so out of his element. He made a great sport about it. I mean, for a guy that's won everything, you know, the
Right.
king, and so much respect for him. But I mean, it was tough.
That was the cool part about the Prelude, was getting those guys out of their elements.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like Harvick never even been in a late model, and he was, you know, it was just cool to see.
Yeah,
that.
it
So,
was, and that's great. So I gave, that's the only panels. The other two he took, and that's something I'll never get rid of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. I see you got your late model champion banner in the door hanging up.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest accomplishments as far as overall. That's something that you know, if I look back, I'll say that was overall my biggest accomplishment.
Biggest accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, those all your Eldora trophies there? Is
Mostly.
that from that season?
Mostly.
I got you.
Mostly. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of mixed around, I think. I don't know. We used to get them so much that we just had to throw them places, but it doesn't get anymore.
Yeah,
You
no
like
more.
One a year.
Yeah.
Just sleep with it.
Right, yeah. Hang on to it forever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
never going anywhere.
Well, you got a pretty nice shop here, Ken. I appreciate you letting us come up and hang out and do a shop talk with us. I always like to see what you guys have going on behind the scenes. A lot of people see what goes on the track, but they don't ever get to see the behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing before who all you have helping you that you might want to give a thanks to?
Well, I don't have anybody full-time, like I said, which is common, you know,
Right.
on this local, regional level. It's something that's changed for me. You know, up until 2016, I had a guy that was down here all the time. And,
Right.
you know, that's the biggest, someone you'd have to thank, you know. But, you know, Kyle Walt goes with me a lot still. I got Matthew Bell helps me on the weekends also. And, you know, those guys are pivotal in just making sure the car gets on the racetrack. It's so much work nowadays, man, that, you know, I tell people that just in the last 3-4 years, the game of racing, late model racing, has changed substantially in the amount of work that it takes. Not in the shop. I mean, this stuff, the mechanics of it is, technology's infiltrated some, and it's made shocks more, you know, temperamental and making them go fast. But at the racetrack, it's so hard to keep up on the race car.
Yeah.
Because of that reason,
Right.
and it's so much more competitive. Everyone has the same stuff, and you know, and I'm not complaining about it. I mean, everybody's in the same boat, and it just makes you go to work harder and try to get better. But you know, without the weekend help, there's no way I could do it.
Gotcha. All right, well, like I said, I appreciate you letting us come up and check it out. And yeah, make sure you subscribe, like this video, hit that bell notification for all the latest content. And until next time, we'll see you down the road.